Next time you step into an elevator and press the button for your floor, pay attention to one detail. The cabin moves almost silently. No jolt, no grinding, just a smooth, nearly imperceptible rise or descent. It feels completely ordinary. But ask yourself a simple question. What is actually holding this cabin? Up there somewhere, in the shaft, behind metal walls, there is a counterweight of several tons suspended above your head. If the cable snaps, what happens? Most people never ask this question, which is exactly why so few people know the answer. And the answer is one of the most elegant engineering solutions in history. One that was invented by a man who once deliberately cut an elevator cable in front of a crowd. Today we're going to find out why an elevator doesn't fall when a cable breaks, how one public stunt in 1854 changed the architecture of the entire world, and why the buildings we live and work in look exactly the way they do, all because of a device that fits in two hands. Let's go to New York, 1854. Hoisting platforms already existed by then. They were used in mines and factories to lift cargo, but nobody put people in them. The reason was simple. Cables broke, and when a cable broke, the platform fell. This wasn't speculation, it was documented fact. Cargo hoists killed workers regularly. American mechanic Elisha Otis was working at a furniture factory, wrestling with the same problem. One day an idea came to him so simple it's remarkable no one had thought of it before. He invented the safety catch, an emergency braking mechanism. But inventing it was one thing, convincing people it worked was another. Otis did this in a way no one else would have dared. At the World's Fair in New York, he installed an open hoisting platform in the middle of the exhibition hall. He rode it up several meters above the ground, stood on it at full height, and asked his assistant, in front of the watching crowd, to cut the supporting cable with an axe. The platform lurched downward and stopped, instantly. Otis removed his hat and said, "All safe, gentlemen." The hall was silent for a few seconds, then erupted in applause. This was not just a stunt, it was the moment that changed the history of cities. Here is the mechanism Otis invented, which in improved form operates in every elevator on the planet to this day. The elevator cabin hangs on steel cables, but it is also clamped between two vertical guide rails, like a train on tracks, only vertical. On both sides of the cabin are safety catches, steel wedges with a toothed surface. While the cable is taut, the catches don't touch the rails. The cabin moves freely. But the moment the cable goes slack or snaps, the tension disappears, and a spring instantly throws the wedges outward. They bite into the guide rails, the teeth dig into the metal, the cabin stops. The physics here work against falling. The heavier the cabin, the harder the wedges press against the rails. The weight of the cabin is what activates the braking. It's a self-reinforcing mechanism. The faster the fall, the harder the grip. Modern elevators have added a speed governor on top of this, a centrifugal device similar to the old steam engine governors. If the cabin accelerates faster than the permitted rate, the governor mechanically triggers the safety catches, even if the cable is intact. The elevator cannot physically reach a dangerous speed. That's why elevators only fall in movies. Here's what's important to understand. Before Otis's invention, there were no skyscrapers in the world. Not because no one knew how to build them. Technically, brick buildings could be raised to 20 stories, but nobody went higher than the 5th or 6th floor. Because above the 5th floor, nobody wanted to live or work. Climbing on foot was too exhausting. The safe elevator changed this equation entirely. Suddenly, the upper floors became the most prestigious. The best views, clean air, far from street noise. Real estate prices flipped upside down. Land in the city center became too valuable to waste on low buildings. Architects began building upward. The first true skyscraper, the home insurance building in Chicago, appeared in 1885, 30 years after Otis's stunt. New York, Chicago, Hong Kong, Shanghai, the entire silhouette of the modern city, everything we associate with a metropolis, was made possible by a steel wedge the size of a palm. The next time elevator doors close behind you, remember, you're standing inside one of the most important inventions in architectural history, the one that allowed cities to grow upward, and the one that keeps you safe, quietly, invisibly, every single time. If this video surprised you, hit like and share it with someone who uses an elevator every day without thinking twice. Subscribe for more stories about what's hiding behind the things we take for granted every week.